Hello, hello, hello. Hey, what's up? And welcome to NewsReal. I'm your host, Tyler Courtney, and let's get this show on the road. Now, this has been a very, very big week recently in terms of newsworthy content. You have people being stupid, David Dobrik being stupid, and, I think the whole world's a little stupid right now, but, we just go with it. We roll with the punches. We do all that. We'll be all fine and dandy at the end of the day. Isn't that right? I definitely think that's right. But anyway, so let's start with the first story of the day. David Dobrik. Oh boy, what a mess. So essentially, the story of Mr. Dobrik is, he has a lot of problems with consent now, doesn't he? Well, let's just get into it. It's not an easy story to talk about, but Mr. Dobrik has been accused of, how would I phrase this? Getting his friends to buy girls alcohol in order to cross their boundaries, let's say. And one of his friends crossed that boundary, and then he recorded it. Well, he didn't record the incident, but he recorded the whole event as a video as a whole, and then posted it on YouTube about 3 years back. And this is a video that has truly, it's not a victimless video, honestly, at the end of the day. There's causalities, and the girls, they didn't consent to any of it, which is troubling and problematic. But, yeah, so that's essentially the gist of what's happened. But how has he responded? Not well, in my opinion. The first apology, we're going through there, honestly. But, yeah. So the first apology is, gosh, awful. It is so bad. Like, I am appalled that, like, no one ran that by him, and he's like, no, they're fine. At the end of the day, it's fine. But no. He just says, let's talk, turns off all likes and comments, and then at the end of the day, he says, I'm sorry if I've offended. Like, okay, first off, let's talk about that title real quick. Let's talk, no likes, no comments. What was the point or the intention of that if you're not going to have likes and comments on, That was a dumb idea, first off. Second off, he barely addresses the allegations in these 2 minutes, so there's that. He just didn't really care. And he glosses over it. It was to the point where I actually watched the apology first before hearing the story. I'm like, oh, yeah, this doesn't sound like he did anything bad. And then, you hear these allegations a little bit past, and you're like, oh, that's why he's in trouble. So, yeah. That's wild at the end of the day. So, but that apology was so bad that sponsors looked at him and they were like, nope, no way, Jose. We are not negotiating with content. How would I say this? Content grabbers? Content grabbers. Or content harlots. Let's call them content harlots. I can say harlot, right? Yeah, I think I can say harlot. Content harlots. So he lost sponsors such as SeatGeek. He lost sponsors from, oh gosh, SeatGeek. I know he lost sponsors from Dollar Shave Club. He lost his team. He stepped down from being a shareholder in his company Dispo, which was supposed to be like this revolutionary like Instagram competition. And he was really, really trying to push that at the end of the day. And to my knowledge, I've heard that he did a decent job with it, but at what cost? It just kind of burned him in the end. But I digress. But as soon as he lost all those sponsors, oh boy, the waterworks really came out. The waterworks really came out as he put out a second apology yesterday, and he was tearful and he was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have crossed that boundary. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really, really, really sorry." Like, you gotta be kidding me. If he was really that sorry, he would have done it in his first apology at the end of the day. But I digress. The whole gist of the apology is he feels really bad about the situation and he's going to get an HR team and he's going to see if he can remedy the situation by taking a break off social media for a while. Which, as YouTuber apologies go, at face value, it's not bad. But once you realize it took him losing all of his sponsors in order to really feel bad about it. I mean, do you really feel bad about it if that's the case? That's not even like this situation's not an outlier either. There was a situation where he was messing with one of his friends and he's like, "Hey, there's this girl that's really cute under this gorilla suit. You want to go in? Or you want to go in and make out with her?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. I guess I could. She's really cute." He makes out with the gorilla suit person, and then it turns out it's a 40-year-old man under the suit, one of David's best friends, Jason Nash. And it's not like it's like for a second. It's like kind of long and kind of uncomfortable to watch. It's really weird. And you could get into the logistics of it, but end of the day, the guy's name, Seth, did not consent to making out with a 40-year-old man. And that was kind of messed up at the end of the day. So, yeah. If I had to say anything about it, well, first off, David, I'm very disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in you because at the end of the day, you should have put out that first apology, You really should have put out the second apology before the first one. I think you would have saved a lot of sponsors if you just did that. But no, you, at the end of the day, decided, I'm gonna just do that. I'm just gonna put out this, like, how would I say this? Limp apology where apparently you're sorry, but you're not sorry. You're only sorry because you got caught. And how do you not realize how wrong you are. When you uploaded that video. You realize how wrong that was to upload that video? Content creators, man, I mean, there's responsibility. You have a responsibility. You have about 15, 16 million subscribers on YouTube. You got to have personal accountability and personal responsibility. If you're not going to have that, then, I mean, yeah. Though at the end of the day, you're probably going to get back your platform. You're probably going to be fine at the end of the day. But still, this will always be remembered. And honestly, at the end of the day, this is not going to be forgotten. I can assure you of that. So, yeah, fun. Well, not fun, but yeah. Dobrik, you are a slime ball, and I really hope you change, but I'm not sure that you will. So, yeah. All right, next one. Let's go into Miami. So, what's the issue with Miami? Well, I can tell you what the issue is with Miami. Miami Beach to extend state of emergency after more than 1,000 people arrested amid spring break. Come on, guys. We're college age. We know better. We should know better at the end of the day. I mean, you have a college degree, you're going to school, you're doing what you can, and then you just decide, you know what? I'm just going to go to Miami Beach. I'm going to have myself a grand old dandy time down in Myrtle Beach. Miami Beach. Freudian slip. And then they plan to extend, but anyway, let's get back on topic. Miami Beach plans to extend a state of emergency for the entertainment district to control spring break crowds. The extension, expected to be announced on Tuesday, will authorize a curfew Thursday night and through early Monday. That will be eligible for extension every week through April 13th. The state of emergency was declared on Saturday. So, Miami Beach said more than 1,000 people have been arrested this spring break season and about 80 guns have been seized. Police Chief Richard Clemens said the trouble intensified last Monday when an unusually large crowd blocked Ocean Drive and basically had an impromptu street party. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I saw those videos. Zero social distancing. Like, literally looked like what I'd call it, like a Taylor Swift concert at Coachella. Everyone was around each other. They were doing stuff, and they were vandalizing, and oh gosh, it looked bad. It looked really bad. But yeah, this is apparently I'm reading this article from Yahoo Sports, and it says there's simply too much disorder for the Miami Beach Police Department to handle. Yeah, but they apparently, according to news reports, they used pepper balls and a bunch of like intimidation tactics to get people away and to break up the crowds and such. And it's just really, really bad. I mean, come on, guys. You go to college for a reason. You go to college because you know you're at least relatively smart if you go to college, you know, or you have a big bank account. But we're not really getting into that. What we're getting into right now is the fact that at the end of the day, you guys lacked personal responsibility at the end of the day. You said, hey, I don't care about my family. I don't care about my grandmother. I don't care about anything right now. and I'd rather just go out, have some drinks, and just go wild and crazy on the street without any regard to the without personal regard to yourself, personal regard to your family, your friends, all of that. And listen, don't worry. I mean, I get it. I get it. It's not easy. It's really not easy being in COVID and being in the pandemic and everything, and missing out on spring break and all that. Trust me, I get it, because right now, I want to go on spring break. This is my last year here, and you know, it's my last year here, and I really want to make the most of it, but I can't because of the pandemic. And I got to be smart about these things. I can't be going out to bars. I got people in my life that could be severely affected by the virus and, you know, the disease and everything. So I can't risk that. But no, you guys, you just decide, hey, I'm going to go to Miami Beach and, not be safe and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It seems like we're going back to normal. I talked about this last week. And, I'm happy that we're kind of going back to normal. But we're not there yet. Or at least I don't think we're there yet. I think people see that people are getting vaccinated and that things are going well and things are going great. And they're like, oh, so this means that things are normal, right? I mean, I went on a walk to the park yesterday and I see pretty much 75% of the people not wearing masks and just kind of, I don't want to say being willy-nilly, but they were just kind of chilling, not wearing masks or anything. And they really weren't being, I guess, responsible. I know it's frustrating. I know. Trust me, I know. But you got to especially if you're like my age, which like is college age, you really got to be smart about this because we're not getting the vaccine for a while. We're probably not going to get the vaccine for a hot minute, honestly. Like, we're in 1A. They're not really thinking about us right now. They're thinking about getting the emergency workers. They're thinking about getting the senior citizens. They're thinking about getting everyone right now. Everyone who needs it the most, they're going to get it the most. Or they're going to get it. They're going to have that priority. And that's the very important to realize that right now we're not the priority. We're just trying to get the people who are most vulnerable now. But the important thing is we got to stay smart about this. If we aren't smart about this, then who knows? I mean, there's a bunch of other stories coming out of Miami Beach, especially regarding the one girl that was really violated and she got robbed and she essentially died, and people are really up in arms about that. I think, funny enough, I think a lot of people know more about the Miami Beach, that story, the story about the girl, than I think they know about like the impact of what's going down in Miami Beach. That story had a lot of traction. It's really interesting to see that, honestly. It's really interesting because I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know what to really take away from this. All I got to say is, please, people, let's just be responsible. Let's be smart about this. Let's do what we can to protect ourselves and to protect the people around us. Because if we're not doing that, then guess what? We're just going to be burned out. We're going to be burned by it. I mean, we have no clue what the long-term consequences of it. Granted, people like us, we're not going to die. We're probably not going to die from the disease, most likely. Most likely. But that doesn't mean we're not going to face long-term consequences in the long run. I mean, I read a report that COVID lungs are apparently worse than smoker lungs. Don't quote me on that. Don't really quote me on that. But you get what I mean. It's just very frustrating to hear that kind of. It's very frustrating. And that's all I got to say about that. What else? So, I don't know. Let's talk about something lighter. You guys want to talk about something lighter? I kind of want to talk about something lighter. So we're just going to go with it. Yeah, we're going to go all the way through. All the way through. We're going to be fine with it. Anyway, so Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is amazing. Terrible icebreaker. I know. Terrible icebreaker. But I'm really hyped about the show. Dropped on Disney Plus last Friday, and yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. It had a great first outing, I think. I think it really set the tone well for what the show's going to do and where the show is going to go, this first episode. Because right out the bat, it starts with Sam Wilson considering whether or not to take the shield, whether or not to take the mantle of Captain America. So he's really kind of in this flux of, do I take it or do I not take it? And he just feels like the shield is just way bigger than he is. So he's not going to take it. That's what he does at the end of the day. He gives it to the government under the guise of like a historical exhibit. And he's like, you know what? You guys can have it. That's the personal response. I'm going to give up what Cap believed in me, he thought I could handle, and I'm going to give it to the government because I don't think I can handle this responsibility on my own. And say what you will about that, it's kind of it's relevant, I'd say, because I think we can take this going all the way back to David Dobrik. There's just that, or like not David Dobrik, but like taking a position of power. There's a lot of pressure and responsibility on there, and there's a lot of pressure and responsibility on how to act and how to behave. And I think that intimidated Sam in the beginning. And like as we learned throughout the episode, he starts to regret that decision of relinquishing that responsibility. Because, at the end of the episode, they give Cap's shield to a new guy. Yeah, a new guy whose name is John Walker. They haven't said it in the show, but people like news reports have said U.S. agent and all that, and he's played by Wyatt Russell. Now, Wyatt Russell does an amazing job because I immediately want to punch this dude in the face. Like, immediately in the face. I hate this dude. Like, he just walks out. He's wearing this cheap costume. He looks awful in it. And then he just walks out and he's got this smirk on his face. And you're just like, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that at all. And there's a perfect meme that I saw over the weekend that really summarizes it. It's essentially like the scene from Civil War where, maybe I shouldn't, you've probably seen it, but it's the scene where Tony says, you don't deserve that shield. My father made that shield. And it was that cropped in the bottom, and then U.S. agent at the top, and he's like, you don't deserve that shield. That's essentially how I feel about that. Like, because he doesn't deserve that shield. You look at him and you're like, why do you get the shield? Why the heck did you get the shield? You don't deserve it. We don't know you. We haven't spent time with you. Get that crap away, man. It's not. Get it away. Get away from that thing, man. You don't deserve it. It's like it's like how would I say that? Like getting the last s'more. Like let's say you're cooking s'mores out on a campfire. You're cooking s'mores out on a campfire, and then all of a sudden, this dude, he's a complete bum. You don't know him, but apparently he's a friend of your dad's, and you don't know him at all. And he comes in and he's like, "Hey, can I have that s'more?" And it's a last marshmallow, last graham cracker, last piece of chocolate of the night. And you're having a good time. You probably had like one or two s'mores, and you really want a third. And you're like, yeah, I deserve that third. At the end of the day, I think I deserve that third because I made it. I made it at the end of the day, and I felt entitled to it. And this is by no means a this is by no means a personal story. Though it sounds like it. It's not a personal story. But anyway, so this guy comes and he's like, I want to have a s'more. And your dad gives him the s'more, and you're like, you didn't deserve that, man. That was my s'more. I spent all time cooking it. I personally connected with that s'more over the campfire. He told me about his life story. How he was made in a factory, he got a wife and kids. He's having a grand old time. And like how his life regrets and everything, that marshmallow lived a full life. I'm telling you that marshmallow lived a full life. But this bum just goes out and he just takes the stupid marshmallow, and yeah. So that's how I feel about Sam's arc. Bucky's arc is a little bit more complicated because, as you know, Bucky got messed with on the heavy. He got messed with a lot. And that is so bad. And he's just traumatic. And he's traumatized at the end of the day. So we're just he's trying to really reacclimate with society. And there's one scene in particular where he goes to this therapist and he's like, "Oh, I'm doing great." And he's like, and the therapist is like, "No, you're not. You're having nightmares." And he's like, "I'm not having nightmares. I'm having a grand old time." And the therapist is like, "No, you're not. And what'd you do?" And then he's like, "Oh, I reconciled with a person," meaning and he does, but he doesn't do it in the way he says. He's a little bit violent, a little bit. He does a little bit of illegal activity, fun in fiction, not so good in nonfiction, but he does a little bit of illegal activity. He gets this really Hydra affiliated politician, and he gets this, and he's like, "I am no longer the Winter Soldier. I am Bucky Barnes, and you are a part of my. What is he saying? You are part of my way to make amends." And that aspect I like because I think this first episode is the most character we've seen Bucky Barnes have in any MCU property ever. Because this dude, this Winter Soldier, he's really had not much time to talk. I mean, from First Avenger, he was kind of there, but he never really had much character. From Winter Soldier, he never spoke, but you kind of understood the Cap connection he had with Cap. Therefore, you found him intriguing because of this connection with Cap, this very strong connection with Cap, because Cap really didn't have anyone else at the end of the day. He didn't. He was alone, and he was a man without time. So when he finds another man that's not out of time, then he's like, "Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I want to save this guy as much as I can because he's like me. He's a man out of time." Anyway, look, now we move on to Civil War, and he's kind of feeling really guilty about it. And then he's like, "I want to make amends," and all. He's kind of like that, but it's complicated in Civil War. By the way, watch Civil War. Amazing film. Amazing film. And then he goes to Wakanda. He gets treatment, trying to get rid of all the brainwashing he experienced. Again, watch Civil War. It's a long story with that one. But anyway, so Yeah, Civil War, watch that. And then he goes to Infinity War, and he doesn't really have much character in that one either because Infinity War is a big movie with like 30 characters in it. 30 main characters. Well, one main character, which is Thanos. And Thanos, he's well, not hot take. Thanos is the main character of Infinity War. So that's the main focus. But anyway, we're not going to get into Infinity War, but point is, this is the most characterization that Bucky Barnes has had in the MCU. And I like that because it really does show he's really struggling to get over his grief, his anger, his traumatic past as the Winter Soldier because he was brainwashed for 70 years and put on ice and not froze and unfroze and froze and unfroze for about 70 years. So he's had a very long history of trauma and brainwashing and yada, yada, yada. So it's good to see him out away from that element because I think this show does a great job of like recharacterizing him. He hangs out with this old Asian dude, and they really have like a kinship with each other. And then he meets this girl, and then he has really strong kinship with her. And he just does a really great job of explaining that. He does a great job, or the writers and the director do a great job of explaining how the whatchamacallit. I lost my train of thought, sorry. But yeah, I think they did a really good job of characterizing Monkey Barnes, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the U.S. Agent because he's kind of a jerk in the comics. He's essentially what I'd call him is the jerk Captain America, and I never really found never really was attached to him. Had a figure of him when I was a kid, but I never really had that personal connection with him. So it'd be interesting to see how they do it in the comics compared to what they do in in the show, because we don't know if this guy has superpowers or not. We know a couple people in the show have superpowers. We know that whatchamacallit, we know that Bucky has a bunch of, the Flag Smashers have a bunch of powers. They're the big bads of the show. They're essentially the inverse of what happens in Winter Soldier. And oh my gosh, I just realized my mic was down. Oh my gosh. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And please excuse the low mic quality on this. So, anyway. But yeah, so the Flag Smashers are the big bad of this show. And we'll see how they do. And we'll see what happens in the show overall. Yeah, I think Disney Plus has a lot of great content. I think it might be my favorite streaming service out of the bunch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have Hulu. I don't have HBO Max. I don't have I have Prime Video, but the only thing I watch on Prime Video is The Boys, which is an excellent show. And I could get into that one episode as well, but I think The Boys is really a great show. Then I think you all should watch it. Moving on. Oh yeah, Netflix. It's all right. It's good to watch if there's something on and you're just like tuning in and you're just seeing, what's going on with that, and you're just kind of you're just watching and you're trying to see what's going on with that. So, oh boy. So, yeah, I'm trying to see. Is there anything else? There's a couple things I want to talk about. Soul. Soul, yeah. Soul. Excellent movie. Soul is a movie that is based on. Yeah. Actually, I think we're going to take a break real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. How's it going, party people in the chat? Good, good. How are we feeling? Good? Man, the stories today are so lame, man. I am so disappointed in the news today. Nothing juicy. Nothing juicy. Not a problem. You guys got any suggestions on what I should talk about? Yeah, I thought so. I got through most of what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't expect to go that fast, but time's fun. And we're back. Hi. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. So, okay. I got one more thing to say before we really head out of here. And we go and we have a great time with our days and all that. So, I have an opinion that, well, I don't have an opinion because I don't know what these are. These NFTs. I have no idea what these NFTs are. They are non fungible tokens. And apparently, the gist of them is that they, like, you can buy them and it's the original copy of what was posted online. So no repost, no nothing. It was the original. So there's really no changing it. It's the original, and apparently they're selling like hotcakes. I tell you this. There's one NFT today that sold for, what was it? 500K. 500K? What the heck? And it was a Mars house that was created by the artist Krista Kim, who promotes the combination of art and technology known as the Techism movement. Good to know that the art world is going through a different change and all that. I thought we were in postmodernism, but things change, and that's always good. It is a certification. Well, according to USA Today, an NFT. Let's just, it's a non-fungible token. I think I've explained it pretty well. But at the end of the day, let's see what USA Today has to say about it. An NFT is a digital certification of authenticity that confirms an item is real and one of a kind by recording the details on a blockchain digital ledger. What? I mean, don't get me wrong. This house is pretty cool. It looks more like a train station, and I would not want to live there. I mean, it's only got like glass walls or something like that. By the way, like, who wants to live? Like, there's this whole adage of how would I phrase it? Don't. How would you phrase it? Like, don't throw rocks if you're living in a glass house or something like that. Don't throw rocks at a don't throw rocks at a glass house. That's what it is. Don't throw rocks in a glass house because it's probably going to break something. It's probably not it, but that's what I'm going with. Don't throw rocks in a glass house. You're going to break something, kid. But yeah, so the majority of these proceeds made from this 3D digital file will head to the Continuum Foundation to support a world tour of healing, sound, and light installations for mental health and healing, according to a tweet by Kim. I mean, that's good. I mean, I don't know. Healing, sound, and light installations. Healing sound. I mean, healing sound, you could go on to like whatchamacallit. You could go on YouTube, listen to raindrops falling, thunderclouds, forest sounds, have a great time with that. You could do that. But apparently, yeah, she's gonna donate a lot of those proceeds to mental health and healing, which is not a it's not a what it's not something that I can disagree with. It's good. That's good. I know, what was it? Jack Dorsey put his tweet out or like the first tweet actually was sold as an NFT, and that went for about uh, something like $1 million, I think. Let me double check. NFT. Twitter. 2.9 million. 2.9 million. That's wild. That's so weird, man. I don't get them. I don't get it. I don't really get it. At the end of the day, I don't get the NFT craze. I don't. Because what? It's original. Okay, it's the original, but what does that matter? It's the original, and what's so important about that? It's not like a vinyl or a car where you could drive it or you could listen to it on the radio or something like that. Or listen to it through a player or something like that. No, it's just there. You have a ledger for it, and it's just a digital piece of paper at the end of the day. What's so important about a digital piece of paper? I can make a digital piece of paper right now. And right now I'm probably sounding like a big boomer. This is probably big boomer energy right now. And I'm not a boomer, so I don't know why I'm talking like this. But I digress. I just don't get NFTs. I mean, if I sold like an original link of this radio stream, like, could I make money off that? Really? Practically, could I make money off that? Could I make money off not doing that? Could I make money off just selling my like OG stream link and having the first original this is the first original stream of NewsReal. This is the first original stream of NewsReal, and it goes for 700K. Won't go for 700K at this point in time, but who knows? Who knows? Crazy stuff could happen. I could be living in a yacht. I could be living in a van down by the river. I could be living out of the box. We'll have to see. That's the greatness of life. I could be living anywhere at all. But anyway. Yeah. So could that work? Could I sell this as an NFT if I ever got big? Could I sell like my first recorded words as an NFT? Or like, ooh, this would be an interesting NFT. Like Kanye, like, let's just say like the first Facebook post or like the first Facebook friend. No, that wouldn't work. First Facebook post you could probably sell as an NFT. I would love for someone to come in and just explain this concept to me. If anyone knows anyone that can explain this concept to me and why it's a good idea to sell to like buy an NFT. Why is it a good idea to buy an NFT? I don't understand why I need to buy an NFT, especially for the amount it's going for. I guess you could say the same thing about Pokemon cards too. That's another hot button issue. Pokemon cards. I mean, you hear them, you see them. They're all over YouTube. You see streamers like Wildcat, Denogla. They do all these big streams about opening Pokemon cards, and they do all this crazy stuff. Is it like that? But you can't hold it. Can you hold it? Do they give you a physical paper? And then you give them the physical paper, and they're like, hey, look, I got an NFT. This is really cool. Definitely awesome, right? I mean, at this point, probably an NFT costs the same amount as a college education, like some of the lower level. Oh my gosh. NFT costs as much as a college education. I'm joking. But, yeah, that's what an NFT is. I think that's kind of the gist of what I think an NFT is. So, yeah. Let's see. Like, I just don't get the point. I don't get the point of NFTs. I don't get the point of them. I don't get the point of Pokemon cards either. Because at the end of the day, it's not a profitable venture at the end of the day. It's not a profitable venture. Because you're going to buy, like, what, $20,000 packs or $25,000 packs for something that might not even be there. It's a gamble. It's too risky of a gamble. If you ask me, it's too risky of a gamble to attempt. Because I think, it's just not worth getting them in the long term because you might lose more money than you gain. Granted, there are $1,000 Pokemon cards. So maybe you get some of that money back. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the Pokemon cards have to be in good quality, and you gotta send them to PSA 10. It's kind of like, well, they're like the OG baseball cards at the end of the day. And that's, baseball cards. So, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, I don't care. They're both pieces of cardboard, shiny pieces of cardboard, old pieces of cardboard, you name it. I don't like them. I don't like them. Maybe I'll open Pokemon cards one day, just for a laugh or a giggle. And then I'll pull a $5,000 Charizard. I'll just be like, what? I got a $5,000 Pokemon card? Like, yeah, that's just something I don't get. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So, the next big thing I kind of want to talk about is music. Yeah, you heard me, music. Because I'm sick and tired of waiting for this Bruno Mars / Anderson .Paak album. Because I think this is going to be fire. They are called Silk Sonic. They already put the one song out. And the one song is called Leave the Door Open. And Leave the Door Open is a great song. I love it because it really does mash the best of both artists. I think it really does mash the best of both artists, and it just has a silky, smooth, sonic visual or audio. How do you say it? Acoustics, silky smooth acoustics, silky smooth voice, just silky smooth. Very silky smooth. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I can't wait for their album. I have no idea when their album's dropping. I want that album to drop soon. Because I think that album's going to really be killer at the end of the day. That album's going to be killer. So, I'm really looking forward to that. And I really hope they put it out soon rather than later. Because this song is just going to be... The album's going to be fire. consider it like winning all the Grammys. It's going to win all the British Music Awards, going to win everything. Everything in the books. It's going to win Best Album of the Year. Am I overhyping this? Yes, definitely. I am very much overhyping this. But you got to keep in mind, I'm very excited for this album. I think this album is going to be great. I think this album is going to be good. I think this album is going to really knock your socks off. Or it might not. That's up to you. If it's not your cup of tea, then it's not your cup of tea. At the end of the day, it is not. It's my cup of tea, and I'm very excited for it. And I really want a new album. Excuse me. I really want a new album to listen to because I've been in an album drought, and I really want something new and something cool to listen to while I go on runs or walks or working out or just in general. I just really need something like that. I did try a couple of albums out that I haven't listened to before. One of which was Food by MF Doom. Rest in peace, Doom. Rest in peace. But holy cow, was that album fire? That album was straight fire. I really digged it because Doom does a really cool thing of just like having very intense rap, but like putting it over like very chill and calm beats. It's not like Run the Jewels where it's pulse pounding, like boom, 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 and like it's just gonna get you hyped. Nah, Doom's like he's gonna let the beat play out. It's pretty chill. And it's just, but he's gonna go hard on the beat. He's gonna go like he's gonna nail every verse. He's gonna really nail every beat, every verse, every time. And that's what's really impressive about Doom. He just has this flow that is just immaculate and impressive, and I really dig it. I really do dig it. I really dig that album. It's definitely a driving album. At the end of the day, it's a walking album and a driving album, and yeah, that one's really good. D'Angelo Brown Sugar. Sorry, is that it? Yeah, I think the album's called. I know one of the songs is called Brown Sugar, but I have to double check that. Anyway, D'Angelo, great R&B artist. That he's also one I've been listening to. I just really need a new album to really satisfy my taste. About this whole, I need satisfaction. I need some good stuff to drop right now. I mean, 2021 is just going to be the year where most things that come out aren't going to be good unless they're on a streaming service. Disney Plus has been doing well. HBO Max has been doing well. But you can't watch anything in theaters. You can't watch anything in theaters. You can't go to concerts. You're not going to have great video games because everything's pushed back and delayed and all that jazz. And, we'll just make the most of what we got. I mean, King Kong or Godzilla versus Kong's coming out. That's going to be on HBO Max. I'm not going to be able to watch it because I don't have HBO Max. But, that's one of those films that I really want to see in theaters. But, COVID's really a sucker. And I really, really want things to go back to normal. But, we can't rush that. We really can't rush that. Because, we just got to take it easy, take it slow, take your time. Take your time. Let's take our time with it and not rush it and not spread COVID. Let's not spread COVID. And by the way, if you did go to Miami for spring break, anyone who's listening through the radio, I don't know. That's a little bit sketch, Just be careful, quarantine. Go to those testing sites that are in Genesius Theater. Really be safe, be cautious, and just, Don't be stupid, stupid. Don't be stupid, stupid. So, yeah. Well, I think that's all I gotta say. I think that's all I gotta say. I'm just having a good time on here. Alright. I think that will be all from me. I will see you all next Wednesday. I appreciate to everyone listening. I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate everyone in general. I want you all to have a great day, a great weekend, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye. Bye. So, how'd I do? Good? Bad? Ugly? Terrible? All I gotta say is this. Thank you to the one viewer that is watching me. You are a boss. You are cool. I will remember you, even though I can't see your name. I really can't see your name. But thank you. I appreciate you very much, and I hope I can get more followers. So yeah, have a great day, you one viewer. You one viewer who is so awesome and so kick butt. So yeah, bye.